Hey everyone, welcome to Two Car Pros. My name is Ryan and today I'm going to show you exactly how to replace the hybrid battery fan for a 2012 Toyota Prius V. I do believe this video will apply to the regular Prius and probably the Prius C as well of this generation. I'm pretty sure they all use the exact same fan. The only thing I would double check is the part number, but the process is going to be exactly the same. Also, before we get started, I want to go ahead and go over the safety plug. I did not pull it when I did the job, but it looks like this. If you are really concerned about receiving an electric shock, it is a good idea to protect yourself against that, but since we weren't unbolting the battery and the car was not on, I was not worried about that kind of a thing. But again, it's a good idea if you're worried about that kind of a thing, so if you are, go ahead and remove that plug and put it back in when you're finished with the repair. This fan is absolutely essential for your hybrid battery's longevity, and what it does is it removes off gas from the battery itself. It also provides it with a little bit of cooling, which it does need. So it is really important that this fan is in good health and is working properly. Here's what it sounds like when it's not working properly. So if you've heard that sound while you're driving your car, it might be time for a new fan, or there might be some trash being sucked up in it because it just has a little vent in the floor that it can suck plastic up into and get stuck in that squirrel cage fan. With all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing we need to do is just come in and remove the trunk floor. Get that out of there. So now we're back here in the back seats, and I've just pushed the passenger rear seat all the way forward, and we're looking at this bolt just here. So this is the back door. And there is just one 10mm bolt we can remove. Just like that. So then we can remove this kind of shelf here and just pull it straight towards us and get it out of there, exposing our hybrid battery and our fan. So the next thing I'm going to do is remove this ducting. You don't technically need to do this, but I think it is going to make this job a little bit easier. And I'm just using a regular body clip puller. I'll leave a link down below in the description for you. And then we can just remove that ducting just like that. So it looks like there should be a body clip right here that holds the ducting to the squirrel cage fan, but mine doesn't seem to be there. So you can just kind of push the ducting back like that. As long as there's a gap between the fan and the ducting, you are all good to go. And then we can remove these two 10mm fasteners on the front of the fan. One is a bolt, and the other one is a nut. Don't drop it. There we go. And then on the rear of the fan, towards the rear of the vehicle, there are two more fasteners. We can just remove those. There we go. The longer one went inboard and the shorter one went outboard. And then we can unplug the electrical connector. You just need to depress that little tab right there and pull it apart. Sorry, my hands are going to be in the way. And there we go. Looking good. With all those removed, we can go ahead and just kind of slide our fan a little bit outboard towards the vehicle and then up and out just like that. So here is our old unit, and you can see in there everything looks fine. It's just that the bearing inside of here has gone bad, or the motor's gone bad, or a combination of the two. Now what can happen, since this just goes to a duct on the floor, trash can end up in here and make that horrible sound. So if that's the case, before you remove it, just look in there and see if there's plastic. Reach in there and get it out of there. You might want to even clean the blades a little bit, and you might be good to go. Something to consider, save yourself a couple $100. Now what I have in this box, because I know this unit's bad, is a brand new unit straight from Toyota, and there is the part number. I will do my best to leave a link down below in the description for you. Oh wow, that is really nice. Well, you can see why you spend the money and get it from Toyota. That is a premium unit, and it's going to last in our Prius for decades to come. So then we can put our fan in just the same way we took it out. Kind of just falls into place. And then you want the ducting for that fan to end up in the battery itself. So you just kind of slide it over. There we go. So make sure that ducting is nice and slid in. And then we can start replacing our fasteners. So make sure that your seal is going into your battery and it looks nice and flush and even like this one does. And we can just tighten those 10mm bolts down. Don't have a torque spec for you. Just one arm tight's probably sufficient. Don't overthink it. Then we can put the bolts back in. I've already done that. You actually didn't need to take this one out, but I think removing that bolt for that bracket makes it a little easier to get the fan out. So that's why I said to do it. We'll just tighten those down. Excellent. And then do not forget to plug in your connector. It would kind of defeat the whole purpose of this exercise. So just line it up so the safety lines up like that, and then push it until you hear that nice click. And then we can put this ducting back into its home. It just kind of slides in, and then it has that body clip that goes like that. It just pushes in. We are moving right along. So the next thing we can do is take our ducting, just kind of fit it over our fan, and I've noticed that we were missing a body clip, so I went ahead and got one out of my stash. It looks like it fits really nice, and lock that in place, so that way this is a little more difficult to just kind of pop out. It can happen, and then the fan isn't sucking intake air where it should be. All right, then we can take our battery hider and just kind of set it down in there. Little clips line up like that. It'll kind of just sit down in its home. You'll feel it. It's a little difficult to describe. Then we can replace our bolt for our battery cover and just tighten it down. Again, no torque spec, just wrist tight's probably just fine. And then we can replace our trunk floor. Those 3 grooves, they just kind of slide in, just like that. There we go, looks really nice. So that's how to replace your hybrid battery fan. It is really, really simple. Honestly, you don't need a lift, you don't need anything. You just open the back door and boom, you have everything right there ready for you. All applicable links are located down below in the description. Thank you so very much for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting at all, please consider giving it a like or even subscribing. It really helps my channel out. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.